Created player, created player. Created player, created player.
Yo, what's happening? It's your boy P Nice, and you already know, if you want to live life, come mess with P Nice, baby. This is the Created Players platform, and I want everybody to go like, comment, and subscribe for your boy. You hear me? Like, comment, and subscribe. I want to give a big shout out to rap news and street politics. I had to snatch the video up and do a reaction. But we go get straight to the politics, you feel me? We go get straight to the content. This is about the Hoover's federal indictment. Let's get straight to it.
Rap News Street Politics, the best hood channel on YouTube, and we back on the west side of South Central with the Hoover RICO indictment. Now, we only 5 months down the line from when the 6-0s got wrapped up in the RICO, and the feds stayed in the city and came over the Fed, taking down 11 people where they got some nasty allegations. And I gotta say, I gotta give a warning to y'all that's listening. It's gonna be some raw details with what the feds are alleging these defendants have done. Now again, everything is just allegations. They innocent until proven guilty. But you already know how the feds is coming, man. They've done their homework, and they really started it by piecing together everything.
Yeah, check it out. Everything is alleged on here, all right? We ain't blaming nobody. We ain't saying it's true. We ain't saying it's false. It's just allegedly. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want nobody coming from out here and talk about, oh, you putting this out here. Nah, this is already public record, and I'm doing a reaction to another person's reaction. You dig what I'm saying?
Out the Hoovers. Now, you know, we got some high-profile names on this case. Y'all know we got Lady Duck as the lead defendant on this case. And a lot of people ask, how's the only female on this case the lead defendant? For y'all that's in the city, y'all that heard her name before, y'all may know her. You already know Lady Duck is not playing. She was already sitting down on the state case for 30 flocks and had a release date. And now the feds have put the squeeze on her, and they finna take everybody down to MDC. And just to give y'all an idea of what Lady Duck got going on in this indictment, the feds got somebody on tap trying to sell Lady Duck a female for a rack. And if Lady Duck didn't want her, they said they was gonna sell her organs across the border. Lady Duck replied, what she look like? So that's the type of role they allege.
Hold on, wait, look. I want to tell all y'all this, right? Stop talking on these phones. You know what I'm saying? You talking to a person, you listening to a person right now who done got an indictment on them already, and I got cracked off of wiretaps. You know what I'm saying? Stop talking on them phones. I don't care what type of business it is. If you got a question mark in your head about it, that tells you not to talk on the phone. You feel what I'm saying? Because they would set you up cold. Everything I'm speaking on is public record already. You know what I'm saying? So it's not obstruction of justice, you feel me? Just for them laws that's looking at this. But in my case, it's said it in the newspaper and everything that they put pictures inside a newspaper article. And they did that just to start up conversation. You know what I'm saying? You know how you see your homies in the newspaper? What's the first thing everybody go do? Are you seeing Wooty Whoop in the newspaper? Are you seeing Wooty Whoop in the newspaper? Yeah, man, they said they got it for this case. Oh, man, that wasn't even him. That was Wooty Whoop. And yeah, Wooty Whoop said he was about to go out of town and do all that. Yeah, they could hear all that. They do this shit. They do this type of shit just to start up chatter, just to start up conversation on the phone so they can listen to everything y'all saying. Stay off them damn phones, people.
Duck is playing in this indictment. But not only is Lady Duck on here, y'all know we got P4K out the Baby Stone Gorillas from BPS. Everything they was saying about dude, the feds are alleging that him and pretty much everybody else was involved in some nasty activity on Fed. Now with the RICO, you know they saying that the Hoovers are an enterprise, a full organization that's running a monopoly on the west side of South Central. And as the feds put it, they are operating from 4-tray to the one-way. But not only do they got the RICO charge, they got the sex trafficking of the minors by force, fraud, or coercion, transportation of a minor, sexual exploitation of a minor. They got drug trafficking, money laundering, and they got the firearm purchases stacked up against these dudes. But overall, it's 24 victims, with 8 of them being minors. And what I've seen,
24 victims with 8 of them being minors. 24 victims with 8 of them being minors. It's about to be a bad day for somebody, because I'm not wishing bad on nobody, but when you got 24 victims, how many out of them victims y'all think really gonna snitch? Somebody telling, dog. You feel me? And it's messed up, you know what I'm saying, these people in this situation, but somebody go tell. Especially when minors are involved, you know what I'm saying? The minors, they don't know no better, you know what I'm saying? And minors should always be off limits anyway. You feel me? I don't care what you're doing. Minors should be off limits, man. You feel me? You know, real street people, we don't condone that type of stuff. But, you know, allegedly, if they was messing with minors and stuff, man, they was just, they trying to get their chili, man. You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean it's cool, you know?
It's ranging from ages 14 to 17. Some crazy work that's being alleged in this indictment. But this whole situation started off in February 2021 and ended last week, August 7th, 2025, where they unsealed this indictment and turned the heat up on everybody. Now, February 9th, 2021, Lady Duck was caught with 9 racks, some fake pills that had that fentanyl in it, and a scale for distribution. This is the starting point where everything started to go left. And this is when the feds started to fully build their case on the Hoovers as a whole. Not just the pimping. They pretty much got everything except for murders in this indictment surrounding the Hoovers. They've been studying their rivals. Of course, they well-known rivals.
Hey, I don't know who Lady Duck is. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never met her before. But she looked like a little hood, like pretty little hood ghetto-ass princess. You know what I'm saying? It looked like she's just a hood princess, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know her, you know what I'm saying? She probably a gangster. I don't know what she is, you feel me? But I'm just saying, from my visual, from what I'm seeing, it looked like she like a little hood ghetto princess type shit.
Allies, those facts are pretty well publicized in the streets and, of course, on the internet. But the feds are alleging that the Hoovers got about 1,800 active members right now. And they had 3 main strongholds in this operation. 2 of them being motels, one of them the Stadium Inn, and the other one the 110 Motel, with the Stadium Inn being on Vermont and the 110 Motel being on Florence. And the feds are also alleging that the House of Hotties off Fig, that little female clothing store, was one of the key pieces in helping strengthen the enterprise of the Hoovers. Now, the feds said they were studying the Hoovers for a long time, and they seen even if the Hoovers is having internal conflict between one of their sets, they noticed that when it was time to put in work, all the sets was coming together for Hoover. And this is what they using to prove that they running a full-fledged
For a lot of people who don't understand, you feel me, sometime when you from the same hood and you got different sections in that hood, like different blocks and everything, y'all not gonna always get along. Y'all could be beefing with each other internally, but if it came down to war against some enemies, all them different blocks and sections that really don't usually get along with each other, they go come together for that one flag, you feel me, and go against the enemies.
And they also dug deep into how people was getting put on and who exactly was getting walked on because of their family ties into the Hoovers. Now, this is being labeled as a complex case because it has more than 8 defendants. It got 11 total. Well, like we said, Lady Duck, P4K, Vermont Star, Tiny 3, Folo, J Money, Young Pope, and a few other dudes who are either associates or members of one of the Hoover sets.
The crazy thing is, man, everybody in these pictures looks so young, man. Like, I don't know nobody ages from the look of it. It's nobody in these pictures that's over the age of 30, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, allegedly they did all this shit, man. We got to do better, you know what I'm saying? We can't be throwing our life away like this, bro. You know what I mean? We got to get right. You feel me? We got to make the money, you feel me? But there's other ways we can make a big old bag, you feel me, without taking penitentiary or life chances.
In LA. And Vermont Star is the same dude that we spoke on in our Swan video, the dude that just robbed Day 3 homie of his chains. And Tiny 3 is King off Manchester, another rapper coming out the Hoovers.
Doing heads, pulling skits, nigga better keep a tool on him. 10 bands for a headshot and we gon' stand up. My cousin Wooty whoopin' Wooty wham, nigga, land only. Fuck said trophy, nigga, long live the dead homie, Manchester.
He said, my cousin Wooty Woo from Wooty Wham. I like when you say, like, when people don't be using names and all that type of stuff, man. I like that shit.
A thing that we got to stress, like we said, Young Pope, P4K, we got to let y'all know, these charges and allegations we finna go through is nothing to play with. And they only pertain to the people that we talking about in this indictment. Just because you see Young Poke name, this ain't got nothing to do with the Poke that we know that's doing this entertainment shit. With P4K, this got nothing to do with the Baby Stone Gorillas. Like I said, these charges are nothing to play with, so let's not get silly with the internet shit just because you see some familiar names in this indictment. But what's being said is that all these defendants helped each other in one way or another in this human trafficking ring, whether it was with the minors or the adults. Everybody played a hand in keeping the grip on the operation. And everybody knows Fig, and we know what hood is on Fig. It said that to operate on Fig, you have to be in good standing with the Hoovers. And they also alleged that some people was paying taxes to play ball on Fig with some of the feet out there. But overall, that fear factor is what the feds are using to glue the Hoovers to a whole enterprise, resulting in this RICO. And the key thing that y'all gotta realize is the same shit every time. Instagram. Not only are these dudes using these music videos, but they using Instagram to prove the allegations in these indictments. The guns and the drugs.
Look, stop going to social media with guns. If your gun is not illegal and legally registered to your name, do not go to social media with these guns. Stop posting these drugs on social media. Stop doing all this super extra out gangbang shit on social media all the time, making the law enforcement know that you out here in the field still. You know what I mean? Leave all that shit alone, bro. The streets is for the streets. The internet is for the internet. Keep that shit off the internet, because all they go do is use everything against you, bro.
Are being shown on Instagram, shown in the music videos, and along with the weapon seizures and the seizure of the drugs, the feds are saying that the Hoovers are using this and keeping drugs and weapons around to protect their assets in these 2 motels and the clothing store. And they said they was also using the clothing store and the motels as stash spots for guns and drugs. And even though dudes like P4K is not from Hoover, they were still involving themselves in Hoover politics and in the Hoover enterprise. BPS is not mentioned once, other than as an ally of Hoover in this indictment. But overall, the feds are alleging 441 overt acts that they using against all 11 of these defendants. So overt acts are going to be specific crimes and elements that the feds use as probable cause to set forth the indictment. And again,
so they got 441 overt acts. You know what I'm saying? They getting charged with 441 different charges. But for anybody know how the feds work, how the state work, or whatever the case may be, you feel me? A lot of them charges go get dropped. You feel me? 441 charges, more than half of the motherfuckers go get dropped. Straight up. You know what I mean? So don't get so overwhelmed with the 441. You feel me? That's still a lot of charges, but a lot of that shit gonna drop easy.
441 different acts or crimes that were committed. Now, the feds start off by saying most of these defendants was branding their names, tattooing their names on these victims. Some adults and some minors. With Lady Duck having her name on 4 people. Hands having his name on at least 2 people. Folo, aka Figure Fo, also had his name on at least 3 people. Info had his name tatted on a 17-year-old girl on her face. And Vermont Star had his name tatted on a 17-year-old girl on her neck. Now,
look, bro, we can't be moving so silly, man. I ain't trying to talk bad about nobody or nothing. One, you messing with minors. Allegedly, you mess with minors. You already know you're doing wrong. 2, you go get the minors to tat your name on them, trying to prove that this is your property or whatever the case may be. I don't know what the reason was, but come on, cuz, like, we got to move smarter than this, bro. Once again, I'm just giving my opinion on shit that the feds and whatever other law enforcement already know, man. It's all in the paperwork already.
Lady Duck, the feds say she is a hood trophy. They got this in the indictment, say she's one of the lifelines of the set. And they got Jay Money on the conversation telling somebody that Lady Duck has been holding the set down money-wise for a long time. And it was time for him to start increasing his profits in the streets for the hood. So situations like these is why Lady Duck is seen as the lead defendant in this case. Like I said, she was...
Hey, Lady Duck, like, I ain't trying to be. I'm not being disrespectful at all when I say this, but it's like, is she a stud or is she a film? Like, or like, is she like, I don't know, cause like she dressed like a nigga, but then she got her hair pressed with the weave and everything, cuz like, you know what I'm saying? I just don't know what's going on. Like, not even trying to be funny, cuz like, or maybe she just a tomboy, cuz I don't know, cuz whatever.
Already down for 30 flocks in 3 different counties and was in custody since July of last year. But they got her on tape beating multiple females, and there was that one tape that came out in the store where she was seen beating that pregnant female, where she alleged that that female was dissing the Hoovers.
All right. All right, what, bitch? I hope you got the same dress on, bitch. What? Fuck wrong with you, bitch, when you're dissing the set, bitch. On the dead food, bitch. ACG, bitch, on the set. Say sorry, bitch. Bitch, say sorry, bitch, for dissing the set.
But right before she went down for them flocks, April 26, 2024, she's seen at that Stadium Inn with a 14-year-old girl. Now, her and J Money both had hands in lacing this 14-year-old girl up, but she was the main person in dealing with this little girl. And the crazy part is, dudes was actually out here dealing with little girls. At one point, they said this girl had $200 at 2 a.m. And by 4 p.m. the next day, she had $1,500, bringing it straight to Lady Duck. And it got so crazy where the little girl's family ended up finding her at Stadium Inn, and Lady Duck told one of her homies that she's starting to look like a child predator out here dealing with this little girl. Now, like I said, J Money was with her, and all these dudes was around this situation with a 14-year-old girl outside. But like
on some real shit, like they said in the paperwork, it do look like some child predator shit. You know what I mean? A girl 14 years old, cuz, like, what we doing? Little baby, 14 years old, that's a baby, cuz. You know what I mean? Like, that shit crazy. 14. Allegedly, though. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna put it on her, but 14 years old is young if somebody was doing that.
Lady Duck, extremely active in this section. When they needed burners, they was calling Lady Duck. She was caught on a phone call with an undercover space circulating, and she replied that Hoover won his head. And one of the main people she was dealing with was P4K. Now, you know, P4K to the internet, he made a cold turn to the pimping. As soon as the rapping started to slow down, everybody saw it. The Baby Stones stopped producing music at the rate that they was producing it at, and P4K really took on this whole pimping moniker. And the feds started to use his rapping with glorifying the pimping and the gangbanging to build this case against him. But this dude was out here leveraging his rapping career, telling females that they could go on tour with him if they hit the blade for him. But on January 1st, 2023, it's like this nigga made the New Year's resolution to get pimping because the feds got him posting an ad for females to apply to his pimping and saying all applicants must be obedient. Again, all of this done on social media, Instagram. Now, after that ad in January 2020,
bro, you putting an ad out to the internet, cuz, you know what I'm saying? You putting an ad out, taking applications to do some pimping. Like what we doing, cuz? Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, what is we doing? Like, we acting like this shit is, like, legit. It's, like, legal or something. Like, come on, bro. Like, this shit that y'all doing is not legal. Why are we posting shit on the internet taking ads? Like applications, I mean. Like, come on, cuz. Like, we gotta do better, bro. Stay off the fucking internet with this shit, bro. Stay off the fucking internet. Stay off them phone lines. Leave it alone. If you gonna do what you do, be silent with it. Be a ghost with it.
July 2023, P4K with a 16-year-old female. And not only was he trafficking her, the feds alleged that he was also having an intimate relationship with this 16-year-old girl as well in 2023. And like I said, he was seen with many Hoovers, but he was in deep communication with Lady Duck. At one point in the audio recording in the Instagram message, P4K stated to Lady Duck that he pimps minors over the age of 16 and under the age of 18. He admitted it out of his own mouth and his own audio recording, allegedly. So all the bad.
So now we allegedly making our own wiretaps on ourselves now, huh? Our private conversations in the DM, you leaving voice recordings with your voice on it, telling them what you do. Like, y'all making this shit too easy for the law enforcement to do their thing with y'all.
People were saying about P4K, you know, when you had them charges, that's one thing. But now when you get this paperwork, it's a whole nother ball game when you got the discovery on somebody. It's not looking good for this dude, and it's not looking good for any of these defendants. They all look like the bad people. And we seen a clip of Smack from back on Fig speaking about the child trafficking on Fig.
What is we gonna do about the prostitution out there and these kids walking Figueroa?
So,
no kids gotta go to school and see this.
So let me just tell you, that's an issue that when we started in the 90s, we were dealing with as well. The difference is that the women, there were women that were on the streets then. Now they're girls that are on the street.
Babies.
Almost across the board, the girls are from the foster care system.
And you know, some people look at it in a way as if Smack was telling on the Hoovers, anything like that. My thing is, these is the bad people. Everybody.
First of all, look, I want to say, I don't feel like Smack was telling on nobody, bro. You feel me? I feel like Smack was genuinely concerned about the babies that's out there prostituting. You feel me? I don't think he asked that question for them to go scoop up anybody who had toes out there. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the way he's saying it is like, what are we going to do about these babies? Like, can we snatch them up and put them in homes? You feel me? Homeless facilities. Can we get them in schools? Can we get these people jobs? Can we get these people in better situations? I don't think he was saying that to get people put in jail. You know what I'm saying? People always want to look at the negative and everything. You know what I'm saying? What about the positive? What if he just wanted them to get jobs? What if he just wanted them to get shelter? You know what I'm saying? That don't mean just because he asked that question doesn't mean he's trying to get nobody put in jail.
Case dealing with minors is bad. There's no way around it, no way to cut it. I feel like he spoke on what he had to speak on, not necessarily implementing any of his homies, but shining the light on these members dealing with little kids. So Lady Duck, after she had that 14-year-old girl, May 2024, they got her on a phone call with Info talking about the hood is hot right now, and he's specifically hot, and that they come into the hood to pick up these minors off the blade. And everything was well known and publicized between these members from Hoover. Now with P4K, what we all seen was when he was beating on that chick on the blade. We had it in our blood report card video, him whooping on the chick from the blade. That whole situation, the backstory of that is crazy. So Info, again, Naziz Harris, a flagrant offender in this case. He had a 17-year-old girl earlier this year in January 2025 working for him. P4K ended up knocking the 17-year-old girl and taking her back to Harris, and both of them made the female choose. The female ended up choosing P4K, and Info basically asked P4K if he can punch on the female, the 17-year-old girl, as an exit fee. P4K allowed him to punch on the girl and took the...
This shit crazy, cuz. A nigga go knock somebody else's toes. He take her to her old P and make her choose between the two. She chose the new dude. So the old dude say, can I beat her ass for an exit fee? And the new dude said, do your thing. And allegedly, old boy proceeds to whoop her ass. This shit crazy. Look. I don't know the sport, you know what I'm saying? I don't know the sport of the P, you know what I'm saying? But what I would say is this, man. Anything I knock, if I brought her to you so she could choose up, and you ask me, can you beat her ass? It's a no. Nigga, hell no. Cause how I'm gonna make some money? With her face all beat up. You know what I'm saying? No. You can't do it. You feel me? I did my job and served you your papers. You know what I'm saying? But as far as letting you do all that extra shit, no. That's just been emotional now.
Email to Fig. Now, of course, shortly after she hit Fig, she went back to Info and left P4K and got back down on the blade for Info. P4K is...
Hold up, cuz. He whooped her and she went to the new P. And then a short while later, she go back to the old P. All right.
Pulling back up on her, and that's where we see him beating on that female on the blade. That was a little girl. And of course, the feds seen that, and they also are alleging that video...
You whooping on a little girl. This is a little girl right here. And you whooping on her on camera too, bro. Like, all this is used as evidence in y'all case. Stay off of the internet with street shit.
The scare tactic that P4K intentionally put on the internet to show his other females that
nigga P4K shaped like a stud. Like, good, shaped like a chubby stud. Like, Cuz got like the big titties, big booty.
Need to be obedient.
Cuz got big titties, big booty type shit going on. Cuz say like a stud, cuz. What the fuck?
To his pimping.
Oh shit.
I don't care if nobody say that's a stud, cuz look, I bet y'all can't unsee it now. Look, this a stud.
Hey, don't put me on no camera. Think I'm coming hard about mine. Yeah. They just put I'm hard about my bitch, nigga. Play with my bitch again, nigga. My bad.
Now the feds allege
this nigga came from so mad to so polite. And he said, I go hard about mine, nigga. Play with my bitch again, nigga. I go hard about mine. Then you hear his voice say, my bad.
these dudes was targeting females that was, of course, in foster care, runaways, and females that just grew up around the blade and somewhat close to the lifestyle. And of course, they know they was dealing with minors, so they was providing fake IDs, and some kidnapping was involved. Now, like I said with Info, Naziz Harris, he was told multiple times by his homies that dealing with minors was dangerous. But again, not only was he trafficking these females, he's also beating on them. He was going around the hood telling people how the minors is snitching on him about him pistol whipping them. But he had another 17-year-old girl.
No shit. If you allegedly pistol whooping a minor female at that, what you think they gonna do, bro? They gonna tell, cuz. I don't understand what y'all don't understand about these people out here is telling. The streets is over with. You got big time gang members that's with the business, fighting, clapping, doing whatever they do. And they telling. The streets is boo-boo. The streets is boo-boo, cuz. You better find a motherfucking job. You better find something that you do good. That's gonna keep you out of trouble, bro. Cause these niggas would tell on you out here, cuz. They would tell on you. That's not no Buster shit. That's not no Mark shit. That's some smart shit. Get your ass out the streets while you can and go make your chili, nigga. Fuck all this bullshit.
In that same time where P4K had knocked him for the
you could still be a gangster. Whoop a nigga. Do whatever you do to a nigga if you have to. But you don't gotta put yourself in these environments that's gonna bring it to you even more. You feel what I'm saying? That's it.
minor. And the feds are alleging that he was producing explicit content with this little girl, along with beating on her and getting her hooked on pills. And what blew this dude up, he take this little girl across country, end up getting stopped, and the folks find his pistol. He tells this 17-year-old girl to take the charge for him. And of course,
she told.
She snitches on him.
I knew it. Before he even said it. Before he even said it, I said she told. She told. You taking this little girl out of state, allegedly you taking this little girl out of state, cuz, and y'all get cracked, and you got a pistol, and you telling the little girl to take the blame. You don't think she gonna do whatever she need to do to get out of that situation? First of all, she already out of state. She's in an unknown place. Secondly, you trying to get her to take a charge out of state where she has no family, no help, no nothing. Come on, bro.
Nebraska put out the human trafficking of a minor charge on him, and he goes down in March 2025. And after that, they still have him pimping over the jail phone to his feet back in California. But somebody he was in heavy communication with was Young Poke. Now,
this nigga is still on the jail phone pimping? Bro, you pimping on the jail phone? This call will be recorded. This call will be recorded. It tell you that every time you get on the phone. You on a jail phone talking about this shit, cuz? See, I know what the situations be, dog. People be on these jail phones talking about this pimping shit, thinking that these hoes ain't gonna tell on them. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? They be thinking they cool because they already lace their hoes boots and all that type of shit, and they know what to do. They know what to say, what not to say. You feel me? But it's easy to teach somebody. It's easy to teach somebody not to snitch, not to tell, stick to the code or whatever the case may be until they get in that hot seat, until they actually in that predicament. Once they in that predicament, they get to sweating, they get to being nervous, they get to saying all this, you about to do 100 years, you about to do 50 years. You know what I'm saying? And now they get nervous. Don't let them have kids. They own them females. Yeah, we gonna take your kids. They're gonna have to go through the system. They're gonna have to be in foster care and get adopted and all that type of shit. Oh no, I don't want my kids to go. Oh, I can't lose my kids. I can't blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna tell you everything. A lot of these niggas out here in the streets telling 50 years. Oh man, I ain't gonna be able to be with my bitch. Oh man, this nigga. Don't let her already done cheated on the nigga. Damn, I know if she cheated on me when I was on the street, she gonna cheat on me when I was in jail, when I'm in jail for sure. Come on, cuz.
Poke is probably the worst person in this indictment in terms of allegations. Young Poke, real name Keandre Young. He started off with the 15-year-old girl, and then the feds allege that he starts having an intimate relationship with the 15-year-old girl, and then they uncover, again, explicit content between Young Poke and this little girl. Multiple pieces of content, though. Then he goes ahead and secures a 17-year-old girl and whoops her feet in front of everybody. And this is when his other little females, his adult females, are approaching him about dealing with minors. And he goes on to berate them about how the minors are bringing in more paper than them. And then after all of that, he gets another 15-year-old girl. And this...
He was allegedly going 15-year-old girl crazy. He was going minor girl crazy. And when you got your adult females coming at you, telling you that messing with these minors is a danger zone, and your response is these little kids is bringing in more money than you grown bitches. Bro, something wrong with you, cuz. Something wrong with you, cuz. People are trying to warn you. You destructing yourself. They trying to warn you, cuz. You feel me? All this shit is allegedly, cuz. But if this is the truth, bro, I'ma speak the real. You feel me? They trying to warn you, cuz. Niggas gotta start paying attention.
In order to tell Info that dealing with minors was dangerous. And at one point, he threatened a 17-year-old girl with Lady Poke, saying he was going to have Lady Poke pull up and put them hands on her. But when the female tried to leave him, he goes on, ends up beating the girl and holding her hostage for 7 days straight. And the feds are alleging that he RAPE'd the chick as well, man. all bad dealing with these minors. And this is another reason why they say the gang banging and the...
Let's say you kidnapped her for days and days and days and days. And then you RAP'd her. RAP'd her. Come on, cuz, these are kids, bro. I'm a girl dad. You feel what I'm saying? I'm a girl dad and I got little nieces and shit. You feel me? Like, I can only think of if my daughter is 14, 15 years old and this type of shit was really happening to her for real. You know what I mean? I don't wish bad on nobody. You feel me? I don't wish bad on nobody. I hope everybody get out of jail. You feel what I'm saying? I hope everybody beat they shit. You feel me? But once y'all beat y'all shit, if this shit is allegedly true, don't do that shit no more, okay?
It don't mix, man. These niggas went wild. They was doing too much. At one point, Info was in communication with Young Pope about one of his girls. The 17-year-old girl was saying that her head was hurt. Info asked her if she wanted to go to the hospital. She said no, because I'm not going to be able to explain these bruises on my face. Mind you, this is a kid. Now, Young Pope also had another 16-year-old girl with him, and when the feds caught up to him, he had a screenshot of Department of Child Services trying to get in contact with her because he had gaffled her up. And they further glued him to the Enterprise when he recorded and posted when the Hoovers caught them dudes from Main Street slipping. And they had posted the video dissing the Main Streets and whooping on some shit. Now with Folo, aka Figure 4, he was on some whole other shit. Of course, the feds are alleging that they was in multiple states. Of course, Vegas is one of them, but they was at least operating in 9 different states. Folo was out here training his females to have them sticky fingers. And everybody sees it that this situation happened because all these females is talking. The feds have made contact with all 24 of these victims clearly, and they all snitching. And when you putting these females in these bad positions, having them yanking the clients, they running and scared for their life. You having them taking gun charges, they gon' tell on your ass. But it said Figure 4 sent his chick to steal a Rolex, and when she came back, he punched her in the back of the head. Like I said, he was putting her in the line of fire, putting himself in the line of fire. And they...
Hold on, cuz. You sent her to steal the Rolex, then when she came back, why you sock her in her head, cuz? What the fuck? Why you sock her in her head, cuz? What she do, cuz? If she did what you told her to do, if she stole the Rolex, why she come back and you busting her head, cuz?
That he ripped her hair out, she pointed a gun at him, and he ended up breaking the female nose. Now, right before Lady Duck went down in 2024,
Lady Duck looked like a kid herself, bro. Like, for real, like, I don't know, bro. I'm trying to, like, she looked like a little teenager herself right here, bro. I don't know if this is an old pic, but she looked like a little teenager herself. You feel me? The charges is bad, but if she is like a teenager herself, you feel me? Don't get me wrong. Don't take me wrong. Pimping on 14 and 15-year-olds are bad regardless of your age. But I'm just going to say it don't make it as bad, maybe. I hope this don't sound bad, but it don't make it as bad if 14, 15 and she's 16, 17 or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like dating. You feel me? A 14-year-old dating a 16-year-old or a 15-year-old dating a 16-year-old ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying?
she already knew that the feds was on them. I don't know if it was because of the flocking, but she made multiple statements that spots were under investigation, including hers on 88. The people that rode up there and they noticed somebody throwing a gun out of her house. They had a lot of people meeting up and a lot of the females on 88th as well. But I believe it's because they was making the spot hot. Dudes like J Money. The feds also alleged he was branding females with tatting his name on their face. But after the chick got his name tatted on the face, he ends up hitting the bitch with the car and told her no matter where she go, he gonna groove her ass. They was truly gorilla pimping out here, man, squeezing these females and these minors for everything they had. And then Matthew Brooks, Buddha, aka Vermont Star, the bad people. He also had himself a 17-year-old little girl on the blade, and he was beating on her. The feds got him, allegedly, stuffing the chick in the trunk and driving with her from Fig all the way to Riverside. And when they got to Riverside, he beat on her some more. Now, the 17-year-old female...
That nigga drove from L.A. to Riverside, cuz, with the bitch in the trunk. Or a chick in the trunk, my bad, I don't want to call her a bitch. With the chick in the trunk. These niggas out here really going wild.
Ended up getting pregnant by Vermont Star, telling him she got pregnant, and he kick her in the stomach to where she start to bleed out of a specific place of her body. Y'all know what I'm saying? And
bro, I never understood why people who allegedly are pimps get they workers pregnant. Like, why do you want her to be your baby mama? Or why you can't control yourself to not do that? I don't know, bro. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not gonna get too deep into that, you feel me? But then you so cold that you kick her in her stomach, allegedly. Why not just go to the building and go get it done? Like, you know what I'm saying?
he proceeded to stab her in the leg with a pair of scissors. 17-year-old girl. Now, after this, he ends up shooting at the female, almost hitting her in the face, and he beat her again, chipping her tooth and knocking her braces loose. Now, on top of this, like I said, they was already patrolling Fig.
I understand, right, why if you beating them, you pulling their hair out their head, you shooting at them, chipping their teeth, you stabbing them in their leg with scissors, you kicking them in their stomach when you find out they pregnant. It's that I understand, like, I can see why these females is telling. They scared for their life, you feel me? They want to get out of that situation. They feel like this is probably the only way I can get out of the situation if I tell on him and he's going to be locked up. You know what I'm saying? And these not gangbanging females. You know what I'm saying? These are civilians, bro. You know what I'm saying? They scared for their life, probably.
People have to be sanctioned to play ball on Fig. He caught somebody that wasn't sanctioned with Info and Tiny 3. They robbed this dude, stole his car, and they took it to a chop shop and chopped it up. So like I said, the pimping and the gangbanging, they doing both. It really blew everything up, along with, of course, doing the nasty work, dealing with minors. Now, Tiny 3, like I said, he was with Gray on that move, but Tiny 3 was also tripping. T-John Gray, he was looking for some new feet, ended up pulling up on another 17-year-old girl fresh out of school at the bus stop. Jumps out on this female, pours some motor oil on her, and his homie come up and robbed the chick for the gold chain. Again, a whole lot of playing with these minors brought them some unwanted attention. Tiny 3 also drove to San Bernardino's blade and tried to kidnap 2 females. It said they had them in the car, but some way the females had got loose. And they had Tommy Guns March of this year, right when that 6-0 indictment was popping off. He's on a jail call, locked up in LA County, pimping the females over the phone. This is how they built this whole situation on the Hoovers, man. They was doing a whole lot. And then on top of that,
I know everybody was paying attention to when the 6-0s got indicted. How they was listening to phone tabs, how they was seeing shit on social media, how they was doing all this other shit, man. You know what I'm saying? If you already done seen this shit before, why are y'all still doing it? Come on, bro.
they hit him with the money laundering, playing with the paper on Apple Pay and Cash App, advertising the drug sales on social media. Also, talking about gun deals with they females. The females is snitching. Now they got the same guns that they said they was buying in the music videos and recording themselves beating on the females and posting it to social media. Social media is one of the main things that glued this indictment together on the Hoovers, man. Of course, like I said, 24 victims, 8 minors, a bunch of talking and telling, but you giving the people so much glue on Instagram. And y'all know with charges like these, the government has put a notice of requested detention. And for each one of these defendants, they got multiple reasons why they probably not gonna make bond. Number one, they requiring all the defendants to be present at their appearance, which is a no-brainer, but they also stating that there's a risk of safety for other people in the community. Those are the main two reasons for pretrial detention on all 11 defendants. The next one is going to give y'all some insight as to what it's looking like in terms of time being faced. The presumptions applicable to pretrial detention is everybody's facing an offense with 10 years or greater maximum penalty and committing a crime involving a minor. They're also stating that everybody's at risk of fleeing. You know, these are heavy charges.
I don't know none of these people that's in this indictment, right? From experience, I hope not. But from experience, from me being in an indictment myself, somebody, and not the victims, somebody just might tell, cuz they might spill the beans to make their sentence shorter. Few months, a year or so, however long it take to fight this case, you feel me? We go hear something down the line that's gonna say somebody told. Watch.
It's not looking good on this indictment, but that's the cost to playing with these little kids out here, man. Now we know the Hoovers right now, they were starting to get a buzz, man. They had some motion at No Jumper. They formed a little rap group, but then everything went tragic on A-Trey Hood Day. We're not going to speak about that. And now this comes out about the Hoovers, man. As we see.
Hey, I want to send my condolences to the family, that the people who lost their family members, the two victims who died that night. You know what I mean? Prayers to them, prayers to their family. You know what I mean? And God rest their soul, you feel me? And I hope they go through them pearly gates. You know what I mean? Shout out to their families, man. Much love.
Feds are still in the city. They not going nowhere. Y'all gotta tighten it up with the social media and doing too much in the streets. But for everybody that was dealing with minors in this indictment, everybody's the bad people, allegedly. Again, these are all allegations, but man, y'all see the paperwork. Y'all knew we was gonna bring it to you. It's not looking good for anybody in this case.
Hey, look, check it out. Like, comment, subscribe. Created Players, man. Go like, comment, subscribe. You feel me? This a quick reaction, you know what I'm saying? You already know. If you want to live life, come mess with P Nice, baby. I'm out of here.
Created player. Created player.